The walk-on Indians improved to 2-1 with a 42-6 win at Crestwood last Friday night. Recapping that game with head coach Chad Beermann, and coach looked like a solid workmanlike performance and pretty solid in all facets. Looking at the stat sheet of that game, what was your takeaway?
It was. We got out to a nice lead, 15-0 at the end of the first, and then it's 28-0. Getting down towards the end of the second quarter, then Cresco put together a nice drive, went in and scored. So it was 28-6 at half, and then a couple more scores in basically the third quarter. And then as we went along, got some subs in and got some kids some good playing time. Came out with a win. So you get a lot of kids to play and get a win. That's a good night.
And when you enter district play and you have a game like that where you can pretty much get everybody in the game like that, does that kind of energize everybody when you come back to practice on Monday?
I think so. You have kids that first couple weeks didn't get to see a lot of action, and so they got into play. And we were shy on sophomores this year, so we had to eliminate our JV schedule. So the playing time those kids get is dependent on kind of what happens in the varsity action. So they got to play, and that kind of picked everybody up a little bit.
Your defense ended up with 4 takeaways, coming off a very good defensive performance against Decorah the week before. Is your defense kind of coming into its own a little bit? Where have they gotten better these last couple of weeks? Where do they still need to go?
Well, one thing we've done really well, really starting with Decorah, is run the football. If you get kids around the football, if the ball ends up on the ground, you get a pick. If the ball gets tipped up in the air, you get a fumble, and if the ball gets tipped up in the air, you get a pick. But if you're not around the football, then you're not going to have those opportunities. So just getting kids running hard to the ball and getting a bunch of kids there and gang tackling. I mean, one of the turnovers was a ball carrier stood up, and one of the other kids came in and stripped it. So just getting kids to the football, and that's improved as we've gone along. I mean, there's still some assignment issues we had, and our depth. When we get kids in the game, they need to just make sure they know their assignments too, and so that kind of cost. And actually, that was part of the Cresco's drives. We had a couple different kids in, and they weren't quite lined up where we wanted them, and that Cresco found it and went after it, and were able to go score.
And 290 yards on the ground the other night, 12.6 average every time you ran the football. What's making your running game work right now?
Well, the line is starting to play together better. Pat had a really good night with 9 carries for 220 yards. I added it up twice to make sure it was right. But I mean, that's a good night for anybody. And the line did a good job blocking. And the backs they know that when they are not carrying the ball, that they're going to need to block too, because that way, their teammates and then they can expect their teammates to block for them when they do get a chance.
And the start of district play this week, and a tough customer coming to town, as North Fayette Valley will be your opponent this Friday night. Obviously, the Tiger Hawks, very proud football program, and seemingly they're getting back to the success that they're used to in West Union. Is that what you're seeing thus far?
Yeah, they've played really good defense the first 3 weeks. Shut out Southwind and Postville and gave up 6 to Sumner Fred for the only points he given up for the year. Their kids are flying to the ball too. I mean, that's and this is probably the first time they've been ranked in a while now. So we're looking for a good challenge. Obviously, we know each other. We know their staff. They know us. We don't compete in district play, but we compete or not in district, but in conference play, but we compete against them in most other sports in general anyway. And so we're not that far away. We know them, and it should be a good challenge.
And Noah, you want to treat every game pretty much the same, but the district play starts this week. Your opportunity to get to the postseason, the games that count for that start this week as well. Do you treat this pretty much the same as every other week, or does the ante get upped a little bit starting here in district play?
I don't know that we change our approach a whole lot. I mean, we're always focused on how we perform more so than who we're playing, and that's how we judge each game, is where we thought we could have performed as opposed to what the outcome of the game is. And, last week we thought the kids, we're getting better. And so this week we look for them to step up again. And our preparations haven't really changed, but it is district play. And we have mentioned the fact that, now the games do weigh into whether or not you get to play that 9th game and then maybe on from there.
All right, Coach, ought to be a dandy of a ball game and walk on Friday night. Keep your kids healthy. We wish best of luck.
All right. Thank you.
Chad Beermann, head coach of the Walk On Indians.